Today I'm going to show you how to make a heart wreath out of craft paper. So for this craft, I'm using the metal hoop that I got at the dollar store in the package of 3. I've used this on another wreath that I had done. I picked up the velvet ribbon from the dollar store as well. And I chose 3 different types of craft papers. I went with like a thick cardboard paper. So I'm doing a dark purple, a red with hearts, and then this glitter one, which kind of picks up both colors and adds some pink. And then I had these that I've also used in a different craft as my heart stencil. But if you don't have this, you can also go online and just print out a heart stencil on paper. So the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to do 4 hearts in each color. Now, just to beware, as I've pointed out before, when you're working with the craft paper, if you have a pattern that has a definite up and down, so like, you don't want your hearts going this way or this way, you want to make sure when you're stenciling that you have it upright so that when you do your hearts and you cut them out, your hearts are going to be in the right way. These 2 patterns are very random. So the nice thing about the random patterns is you can trace your hearts and utilize more of the paper, where this you're going to have to go straight across so you have more wasted paper. So make sure that you buy enough of the paper if it has a specific pattern versus random. So once you have your hearts cut out, like I said, I have 4 of each. What you want to do is just set them up onto your ring and figure out what configuration you want and how you want them. You have options here. I'm doing every other one, rotating them back and forth. You could do them all the same way. And really what would dictate how you put them on is the size of your ring, because you want them spread out equally and you don't want to have any ring showing. So it's really important before you start hot gluing that you figure out exactly the spacing and exactly how you want your hearts to go, so that when you start hot gluing, you don't end up overlapping too much at the end or having a space. It's better to have a space than to have too much overlap. You want them to be equally distributed. So our next step, basically, all we're going to do is working on some wax paper. You're just going to put your hot glue down, and then you're going to put your paper heart, and you're just going to go around the circle and secure them all. So if you're going to do them the way I'm doing them, which is reversed back and forth, you want to make sure that your heart is in the center. If you're doing them like this, you could position them however you want. You could be a little bit more off center and overlap. But since I'm doing them like this, I want it pretty much centered to the ring. And so basically all you're going to do is just take your first one and your hot glue, and you're just going to run your hot glue along here and then attach your paper heart to the ring. So as you get towards the end, you just want to take the last couple and again just put them on and make sure that you're correct, because you can adjust it a little bit. You can spread them out a little bit or put them a little closer together so that way that they're all even. So you just make sure you're on the right track and then continue to glue. Now on your last one, because you notice I did overlap, under, overlap, under. So for your last one, you don't want to put it like this. You want to make sure you slip it under. And so it follows the same pattern. So if you buy this ribbon at the dollar store, just know you don't get a lot of ribbon, but it's fine for what I'm doing. So the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little loop, and I'm going to attach the bow at the top. So it's just got to be a little loop. So you're going to cut that, and then just make sure you have enough to make your bow. So we're going to just cut this here. And then you're going to take a piece of wire, and you're just going to bunch this together, and you're just going to take your wire and wrap it around it and twist it. And then you're going to attach your bow to this. So to make the ribbon, the bow I'm going to do a loop, excuse me, and I'm going to cut that off because this other end I'm going to tie around it. So just make sure you have enough to work with, that you don't make your bow too big, that you don't have that extra piece to do the tie. So this is my loop. So I'm just going to bring the ends together in the back. Make sure it's in the center. And then you're just going to scrunch it up like so. And then take your wire around to the back and twist it tight. And then you're just going to take the other piece and you're going to tie that in a knot. And before you do, you're going to loop a piece of the wire through the knot so that that will become the piece that you're going to use to make your hook. So now that's my knot in the back, and I've chosen to leave that extra tail of ribbon on. I think it looks cute, but you could also just cut it off if you choose. And then here is my wire that I had strung through the back. I'm just going to give it one twist to secure. And then that you're going to bring around here, twist it again, and then you'll make your little loop, and that's where you're going to secure it to whatever it is you're going to hang it on. So here's another door decoration that you might like to make for yourself. So if this is your first time watching, welcome, and please don't forget to subscribe. If you want to receive future notification of posts, hit the bell. And if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.